We all want to change something in our lives, whether that's the way we look, the money we make, or the way we feel on a day-to-day basis. Now we try and create this change by using grit and determination, but how long does that usually last? Is it weeks, months, days, years, or is it just hours? Now a lot of the time this is because we've changed what we do and the actions we take, but we haven't changed the way in which we think. Because all human behavior is as a result of how we feel in that moment. Think, feel, action, results. Now, I'm not going to make you a crypto millionaire or give you six-pack abs in 2 weeks, but what I can promise you is this will fundamentally change the way you think and the results you create in your life. If you go through the process, if you do the prompts, if you do the goal setting, and really take the time rather than passively listening and watching to question yourself, to meditate on some of the things that I speak to you about. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting a different result. So if you want your life to change, it's about time we take some responsibility. Because no one is coming to save you. No government, no economy, no rich uncle or aunt, but it's up to you. So I can't wait to see the transformation that's going to happen in your life, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. Thinking is the process of taking 2 million bits of information from the exterior world through our 6 senses, which are visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. We then process this information through the filters of our mind. Now, these filters of our mind is what I'm going to call the subconscious. Our subconscious is made up of memories, emotions, stories, beliefs, values that we've inherited rather than consciously chosen. These have come from friends, family, the media, TV, and this affects how we process all of that information every single moment of every single day. Studies have even shown that up to 95% of our behaviors and thought process is automatic, such as the way we respond in certain circumstances, how we react to people, or even things like driving a car has become automatic. Now, this is because when we repeat a behavior over and over again, our neurology gets wired together. And in the same way, if we stop practicing guitar or haven't driven a manual for 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, it gets really hard to carry out that behavior that we were once so good at. Now, the great news is if we can learn these things through repetition, we can forget them just as easily. And we do this when we stop reinforcing that neurology. Now, this is all great, knowing the theory behind these things, but if we want to change it, we need to become aware of it. And in the next module, we're going to be learning about how to cultivate that awareness so we can see the pattern and then stop it. When I was driving to work in a job I didn't like, I remember having these conversations in my head about how I was going to argue with my manager, and he was going to say this and I was going to say that, and then I was going to be like, fuck you, and he was like, fuck you, and it became this big thing about how I forgot to put a bolt in a certain car or didn't put something back together properly and it's going to fall apart as the customers are driving away. Now, none of this had happened or was going to happen, but I created it in my mind, which then created this feeling of angst, of anxiety, of panic, of fear that wasn't actually even real. We are not afraid of what we think of. We are afraid of what we think. We don't see the world as it is, but we see the world as we are. Everything you interact with or do is through the filters of your subconscious mind, of those things we inherited. So we need to become aware of this process and become aware of what we've been doing and what we haven't been doing that's creating the life that we're living now. So in the next video, we're going to be going through, one, figuring out where it is you are, because if you don't have a map, you don't know which way to go. When you go to Thorpe Park or something like that, it says you are here and you can see all the roads kind of scattered around. Now, if we don't know where we are, we don't know whether to turn left, right, up, down. Let's get our bearings and a compass on exactly where we are right now. And then later we're going to figure out where it is we want to go. Because then we can figure out why it is we want to go there, how it is we're going to get there, and who has the knowledge that we need in order to bridge that gap from where we are to where we want to be.